Hey there, what letters? Thanks for that. Awesome. I'm still getting the hang of this. This is only the second week of this, so yes, my mic apparently, well, the tool chain that includes the mic was off, so my bad about that. Um, so I'm just going to jump in right from here. I'm going to skip back a little bit just to get reacquainted so everybody knows what's going on. On the previous episode, dealing with the Astrocasts website, we looked at, yeah, thank you so much for that. I'm happy to know that people in chat are willing to help out when there are technical difficulties. All right. So thank you for joining this evening. We're still going to be looking at the Astrocast website. The previous time we looked at this, we took a look at the video model. We created an individual video and a video listing page. And if we look at those on here, we can get an idea of where we were at. So here's the 5 episodes that we actually had persisted in the database. The only one that actually has an actual video on it would be this one that I added here. And if we go there, it's going to load up the Vimeo standalone player, which is actually pretty nice. If it exists, it's going to show it. If it doesn't exist, well, it's going to show something weird. So I haven't done a whole lot of error checking on it yet. But it's pretty much where we need to be. We can make this look prettier or whatever, but we really need to focus on being able to get this content in a little better. And what we had looked at last time was the API platform. And this added a /API endpoint without us having to do anything at all. It was just there. And this reminds me a lot of a project that I'd seen a while ago called HAL Browser. HAL Browser is a way to look at a application that uses the HAL API and kind of crawl through it. So for example, we can look at the relationships and we can actually get the relationships and click through it, which is exactly what we have here. If I go to get videos, I can try it out by giving collection page number of 1. Try it out. Page number 1, execute, and it actually gives me the output of all of the videos. So I can actually test out the API just going through the web UI, which is pretty awesome. That's pretty much what HAL Browser did, except this was a standalone application that you kind of installed separately. API platform apparently is just built into it, which is pretty amazing to me. I first looked at it with Foxy. Foxy.io is, what happened to FoxyCart? They've renamed it from FoxyCart to Foxy.io. Since the last time I looked, they've been rebranding this. And this is something that I've been using on Ninja Girl's website. So Ninja Girl's website, I didn't actually want to build a full-on e-commerce system. So Foxy gives you the ability to integrate pretty easily with their JavaScript cart. So if you want a taco print, you click add to cart. It handles everything here really nicely, and I don't have to worry about a whole lot, which is pretty cool. So API platform is pretty neat. I had heard that there was a front-end application, a React front-end application that uses or that ships with API platform or next to API platform. And it was kind of cool. I liked it. I was pretty happy that it sort of configured itself, much like HAL Browser could just be pointed at an API and it just worked. But it's still pretty raw. So I don't think we're going to use this. It was a neat experiment. I should probably make sure that I either remove the API or secure it properly once it actually matters. But for now, I think I can leave it as it is. So going back to the things I'd like to do tonight, I'd like to take a look at EasyAdmin. Instead of using the React-based admin on API platform, I'm going to take a look at the EasyAdmin bundle. I'd also like to do something with some iCal because I did want to have a calendar. So if we go back to the actual site, I was hoping for the ability to have like a schedule here. Right now, the only schedule is this, and I'm not sure this is super user-friendly. Definitely doesn't look pretty. But I am trying to schedule everything out on an iCal calendar so that I can do some sort of display on the main site. So, if it's Thursday at 2 p.m., it can tell you that the next live episode is scheduled to start in 2 hours, so that you would actually have a better idea of what's going on. So that's kind of what I'm aiming for that. I also wanted to maybe take a look at TurboLinks. TurboLinks is something I haven't actually used before. I only sort of heard about it maybe a year and a half ago, and it sounds kind of interesting. The idea is that it's going to give us the ability to have some sort of like single page application style support without actually building a single page application. If you look at the description here, it really could be as simple as loading another page with Ajax and swapping out the head and the body tags. I'm sure there's more to it than that, but this is pretty rudimentary, and I don't think it's doing a lot more than what it says right here. So I'm curious to see how this actually works. We may not end up using it. We'll have to see. The main thing that I'm curious about is persisting elements across page loads. So I'm hoping what this is going to allow me to do is be able to have a persistent player, so that if you have, say, clicked on the live stream, I'm actually going to go to the live version of the site here. Because if you come to the live version of the site, we actually play the live version. And we're going to just let this sit here for a second. So if you're actually watching this, I'd like to be able to have you be able to still navigate the site without having to restart this player all the time. So that's kind of the goal here with TurboLinks, to see if that's going to be possible. If I look at Mixcloud, I'm not sure how they do this, but I'm hoping it's the same sort of thing. So I'm going to go to Mixcloud / I think SoundCloud does something similar. Simensen, yeah, there we go. So if I start playing something, so if I play Laracon set, if I start playing this and I click onto some other thing, looks like categories, this persistent player stays here. So I'm hoping for something similar like that for the Astrocasts website as well. Obviously, it can't be this little, and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to look visually, but I kind of want to make sure that the technology behind it can actually work before I spend too much time visualizing it. The other thing, if we get really adventurous, I want to take a look at web components. This is something that I guess I've vaguely heard about for a while, but I definitely haven't actually looked at it yet. And what it looks like we're going to be able to do is do something sort of like, it's essentially custom HTML tags that have a lot of JavaScript stuff built into them, or JavaScript capabilities. So let's see here. We got it. It looks like there's different like polyfills and things like that. Really, what I'm hoping for is to build a flexible player that will work for any iframe or embed style player. And actually, there may already be one. Let's see if there's that might save us a bunch of time. There's video, parallax video. Yeah, so we could actually take a look at a couple of these and see if these are going to be something that we could use. Once we start adding users to Astrocast's website itself, one of the things I'd like to do is be able to offer people a preference for whether they watch the live stream on Twitch, Google, or Facebook, or whatever other platforms might be coming down later. So ideally, I would have one component that could handle the different players, the different player formats. So I'm thinking I might try web components for that. It would be an interesting thing to look at anyway. If there's some existing ones, that would be awesome. I think this technology is still pretty new. And like I only see, like if I look at the stars on some of these, you know, if you got 3 stars, 2 stars, and the biggest one has 33, I guess Google YouTube has 105. So is this actually officially a Google view on GitHub? Let's see who this is. So Google YouTube element. Let's see here. Yeah, it's Google Web Components, so it must actually be a proper Google thing. Yeah, so this is actually, these are all actual Google components. So these might be interesting things for us to take a look at and see if this is something we can run with. So this is sort of an idea of where I'd like to go, at least in this session and possibly in the next few, because this is actually quite a bit to jump through in 2 hours. So the first thing I'm going to take a look at EasyAdmin. And for that, I'm going to head straight to Symfony SH again. And if I do a search for admin here, we can see there's some official bundles, or official recipes, and some contributed recipes. The main difference between official and contributed is the official recipes can have aliases, and they can be installed out of the box. Any time you want to install a recipe that is a contrib recipe, that's something that you're going to have to actually tell Composer to allow. I think, let's see here, community recipes. I think it talks about it. Well, yeah, so in order to use a contributed recipe, you need to use composer config extra Symfony allow contrib. If you don't use that, you aren't able to access any of the contributed recipes. So the official packages are actually packages that the Symfony team has vetted. They've looked at it. They've decided that the quality of the bundle or the quality of the software is good. There's a lot of support for it, and they're willing to actually put their name behind it. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's the best solution. It doesn't necessarily mean it's the best solution for you, but it is the one that Symfony is going to start proposing people use over other solutions if you don't know better. So if you happen to know that you like Sonata Project's admin bundle, for example, you can use it, and they're not going to stop you from using it. The only difference is that if someone like me, who isn't really super familiar with all the different variations or different iterations of bundles, might come here and type in admin, the very first one that comes up is the one that's going to have the most support. So let's see if we can click on package details. This actually goes to the packages page, just to get an idea of what kind of stuff this is bringing in. It is going to be bringing in a lot of new dependencies, but there's not a whole lot we can do about that. If we look at the recipe itself, actually I don't want to look at the recipe. Essentially, since it has the admin alias, I can just composer require admin, and it should do the right thing for me. So let's go back here, see where our Git is at these days. All right, let's get rid of this. And let's get everything back up to state, or up to date. Templates. One of the issues that we had, just so we can remember what had gone on, inside the web profiler, this was giving us some issues with some of the automated tools because we were intercepting redirects. Intercepting redirects was actually pretty nice at one point while we were doing some debugging, but it was actually interfering with part of the API stuff, because the API, rather than just issuing the redirect, was actually giving HTML back. So anything that was consuming the API was actually not working very well at that point. So I'm going to leave that off for now, just because I don't know if we're going to need it. We can turn it back on again later if we need to. All right, so here we are. I'm going to git commit. Model, which I'm sure we did more than that, but I'm sure that'll be fine for now. So I'm going to do one other thing, actually. One of the first things we did was added an admin section already. In fact, it was admin/dashboard. Oh, no. Yeah, so /admin didn't work, and it was dashboard. So what I want to do now is remove this, because we're not actually going to be taking advantage of this anymore. Since we're going to be using a backend, we don't need the standalone controller. So I'm going to go to PHP Storm. Let's go ahead and remove that. So just for now, we're just going to remove this entirely. Now, if you remember, we did still have security set up already. We do have security set up for /admin. It's just now there's nothing there to actually secure. So we're going to get an error. But it does mean that our /admin, when we install the EasyAdmin bundle, will already be secured. So go ahead. We'll do admin. Again, if you're sitting in chat, feel free to chat with me, talk, ask questions, offer suggestions. By all means, you don't have to just watch. All right, so this installed some additional things for us, notably Symfony form. It's going to do a lot of stuff with Symfony form behind the scenes. And then the a pager bundle, which is pretty nice because I haven't used that before and really have wanted to. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Let's go ahead and see what happens now. So reloaded the home page, everything still looks fine. If I reload the admin page, it's now giving me an error, which is good. And it's actually a useful error, and this is something I might actually try to go and do a document update on this for this team. So edit your configuration file in app-config.yaml for the EasyAdmin key. So we don't have this because we're using Symfony Flex. We're actually looking in a different location. So let's go ahead and look now in EasyAdmin, and the only thing we need to do, in theory, is add our entity. So this is one extra step that we didn't have to do using the API platform bundle. We also didn't have to do anything on the actual admin side either. It just worked. I'm sure that there were some things that we were going to have to get to eventually, but it just worked out of the box. In this case, we actually have to specify them. If I reload now, awesome. So what it's showing already is the episodes that are in here. The Vimeo ID is listed. Its output is a little weird, but that's fine. There's some stuff that we can already do, like search. So I'm going to say podcast. So I was able to do some basic searching there. If I want to go in and edit it, it lets me specify the dates. It's able to detect that it's doing some date-related things here, which is pretty cool. Eventually, I'd probably need to look at UTC versus local time and all of that, but I'm happy that at least it's showing published date, which is pretty great. So this is a similar to the React-based backend. There's a lot there, but this already looks prettier. It looks more pretty than the other version. I'm going to try to add a new one. So session 7, we'll do session 8 because that's this session. 8, description. Astrocast.com. Leave the published date because it's not ready yet. Leave the Vimeo ID because it's not ready yet. And here we go. So if I go back now to the video list, we can see Astrocasts session 7. So I'm pretty happy with this. works out of the box more or less as expected, so that's pretty cool. Let's see what else we have. Looks like I can sign out, so it knows that I'm Beau. It's using the Symfony session information just out of the box, so I'm able to see that it's using it's using all of the information that was already created previously. It's using my bcrypt password from my .env file, but let's go ahead and log out and see what happens here. Curious what this workflow looks like. Okay, it just logged me out, dumped me back to home. If I go back to login, Beau. There we go. Now I'm logged back in, and I should be able to go back to admin. The other thing that we can do is check to make sure the permission stuff is working right. I can go into security and role user. And now I should get dumped back out of admin. But I'm not. Interesting. I would have thought that wouldn't let me do that. There we go. Access denied. A little worried that it didn't do that right away, but I guess it's fine. Let's see if the other way works. No. Let's see if it tells me form or not form login. It does say I'm result. Inherited roles, none. So it does say I'm a role user. I guess it only checks that at login, which I think is maybe not what I would have expected. So let's log out. Access denied, but it's not redirecting me. Why is it not redirecting me? No, it's true. Form login, login. All right, so that's in the security top level. Security. A little surprised that it. Well, let's see if it works first, and then let's worry about it if it doesn't. So access denied URL. Because, really, I guess. There we go. So it does redirect me to login now. All right. Symfony denied URL. All right, username parameter. This is what I'd like. All right, login path. All right, so form login. There we go. Let's see here. Where's search? All right, well, I think this is actually what I was looking for. I have to log in route name, access denied URL. Okay. Well, it looks like it works. I can't find out in the docs why. There's nothing popping up. Just denied URL. Okay, I guess there's one example, but this is Symfony 2.2. Maintained. Let's look at 4.1. Access denied URL. Okay, that's there. Okay, so we'll just accept that. So if I log in, I'm going to log out actually, and log in. I'll actually have to give it a name. All right, I need to tell it where to go. Default target path, form login. We'll do home. All right, but it's not doing what I wanted. There we go. Now it's working. Cool. All right, so let's be done with EasyAdmin for now. Let's see if we can move on to something else more interesting. If anyone else in chat wants to see something else with EasyAdmin or offer any suggestions or have any questions, let me know. Maybe we can go back to that as well. For the iCal portion, I'm not actually sure how I want this to look, but what I think I want to do is figure out how we can actually access it. So I'm going to take a look at the VObject class, the Saber VObject class. It's pretty, it's from PHP 5.5. I've used it in the past, and it's actually pretty nice. I actually should make sure it's still being maintained, because I feel like I saw that Frux was getting rid of stuff at one point. Saber. It doesn't say it's... It doesn't say that it's being deprecated, so let me look at Saber deprecated. Saber dav. All right, I must have imagined that because it looks like there's still VObject stuff being added. So let's go ahead and composer require this. Actually, let's see if there's a recipe for anything related to SaberDav. Nope. Okay. Okay, so now we should have access to vObject. What I think I'd really like to do is maybe we'll just sketch this out. Let's say iCal. Let's do, say, next 10 calendar entries. Let's cache them, and I guess start there. I think eventually, I think I'm going to want to do a cron style thing to update the calendar entries maybe once a day, and then cache them, and then we'll use I don't know, I should know these things. I'm going to check out PHP Fig. I think it's PSR 8. No. Yeah, let's pretend that doesn't exist. What's a simple cache? 16. So I think that Symfony has full support for PSR 16 caching, so we'll use that. So cache them, PSR 16. We'll use Redis for that. And then we'll use Guzzle for the client to actually get the cal. So let's look at, I think it's Guzzle HTTP is the package we want. I think that's the first thing we'll take a look at. It's the one that's still supported. Here we go. All right, and we're going to use the maker bundle to create a command. So we're going to create a command specifically for the purpose of, I'm going to create a command specifically for the purpose of ingest or downloading the iCal and caching it. So bin console make command, and we'll do just call it get calendar. Cool. So I have a get calendar command. And if we run it, it just does some things for us. So bin console app get calendar. Oh, yeah, let's actually app get calendar. Okay, so there's probably a lot of really nice ways that we could do this that would be nicer. But I'm just going to code it all in here because YOLO. Client equals new client. We'll just get one of these. Make sure that runs. Cool. And then I'm going to get the iCal link here. Can I copy link? No, it's weird. This app is kind of nice, but there's some little oddities with it. It's a pretty nice inline markdown editor, though. Ooh, wow, that's weird. Get nothing like hard coding, and let's just do that. And then print get body. Yay! All right. So what we should do now is look to see what we have to do with VObject. Working with iCalendar. Cool. Read. I want to be able to read from string. So let's just do VObject. See if, oh. I see. VObject reader. Read data. All right. Can only read from strings or strings. Right, and I gave you a string, I think. Or maybe I didn't. Get body. What does get body return? Stream interface. Awesome. ToString. Read. You'd think I'd know these things with PSR 7. Get body, get content. There we go. Did something. Let's see what we can do. All right, so I have no idea how to interact with these, so let's go check out what we can do. The actual manual. So creating a new column, manipulating properties, vEvent, funeral, parsing iCalendar. I really hope there's something more interesting than that. Working with iCalendar. Yowza. So okay. So what I'm seeing here is a bunch of events. Well, that makes sense. I'm hoping I'm not going to have to start parsing and handling the date stuff, because that's going to be a pain in the butt. So print the event. And let's see, what properties do we have? Just so we can see what it looks like, let's do summary, I guess. Cool. And let's print something related to the date. So we've got, let's see, we have description, last modified, dstart, and R rule. Tuesday, Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. That's interesting. Neither of them have a D start. Oh, DT start. But two of them don't have redirects. So this was 925. 925 at 4 and at 10. So that was in the past. I'm guessing that those... Well, I don't know why those are on there, but they should be in the past anyway. So let's see. What we need to do is figure out how to calculate, based on DT start and R rule, what the next time is. I want to say I've seen a package that does this. Tight, weight, and fast recurrence rules. All right, Chronos. Oh, this one by far, well, All right, let's try the one that has all the stars. Let's see, so date, time, New York, rule, start date, end date, time zone. All right, let's try it. Let's see, when was this last updated? Not too long ago. App. Okay. So now what we should be able to do is, for each one of these, we have DT start. So start date, time zone. Let's just see if this works. So date time equals new. All right, so that didn't work. So do local. I thought I could do C. It's lowercase c. Great. My brain is getting old. All right, so this would have been my time. I wonder if I can pass in that time zone. America, Chicago. Oh, that's an interesting way to represent it. So this is actually 2 values. I wonder how I get that. Let's go to the Saber docs. V time zone. Do we have that? No. Let's see if it gets it though. Let's see, it was V time zone. No. All right, so set time zone, date time. Oh, actually, to figure out all meetings for this year. Huh. Why didn't I see this earlier? This isn't on the iCalendar page. Okay, that makes sense. Serialize event. Email, for each email as type. I wonder if this is going to work. TZID. Nope. Ah. Oh, that's why. Okay, America Chicago. All right, so it's getting that. I wonder if I should use the built-in stuff that I didn't know was there. All right, let's actually forget this stuff for now. And if it expands, all right, so I don't remember if I can do that syntax here, but we'll try. So we can do expand, not found, and document. We'll see. Object given. I feel like there was a different object that took that. All right, so now let's copy this. And I'm not going to worry about that. We'll just print those things and so it didn't actually expand. Let's say maybe kind of wondered if that was the case, but let's try. Where's that now? Oh. Okay, so based on this, we see October 3rd, which is tomorrow, and we see one for the 4th, the 8th, and the 9th, and then another on the 3rd, another on the 5th. So let's see. Let's do format. String date format. How do I get the local? Format a local date time object. So none of these look like local date times to me, because this is at 21. Is that 8? No. This is at 21, 21, 21, and 1. I don't feel like that's doing what I was hoping for, so that didn't change anything. I love date math. It's my favorite. Let's see here. Expand DT start. No, this does absolutely nothing. Well, the nice thing is that it's at least giving us this value correctly. What are these times? So this is 2018, 9/24 at 4 o'clock to 7 o'clock. But that's not what I'm seeing here. Remember, does this mean UTC? Let's see if we can calendar serialize. So if this is working, yeah, so it is working. So what we get out of here, so cal name, time zone, TZID is America, Chicago. So we're getting that. DT start. Oh. That doesn't look right. Oh, here's... that's just the first one. Because that one doesn't actually have a recurrence rule. No, it did. Why, though? All right, so this event, DT start, $924. I'm going to check PHP now plus. That's there is an interval. I don't think I'm going to get the answers from there. Date time interval or date interval. That's not useful either. I'm just going to have to do some hard coding here just to see if this is... All right, so 1016, 21. Why is it giving me those values? Does C always... I wonder if that's the problem. If I use that format... Yeah, that might always be. Let's do R. Let's see if that's better. And it's still giving me a weird time zone. Others. Do we have UTC? No. right, let's see if this works. Yes. I really struggle with date times sometimes. Let's see if we can do now plus 2, or now plus 1 week. No, now plus 2 weeks. So the first one is going to be October 3rd at 4. That's tomorrow. That's a Wednesday. Awesome. The next one will be the 4th at 4. And the 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, all at 4. And then 15th, 4. All right, and then the 2nd, which is today, which is fair enough. So it's today at 8, and then Thursday at 8, and then the following Tuesday at 8, and then the following Thursday at 8, and then the following Tuesday. So they aren't in order, sorted by date. So I wonder if I can do that. Can I get sort order saber? Ooh, that's not good. Upgrading usage instructions. All right, so I think what we'll just have to do is probably just sort them some other way, which I'm fine with. So let's see, we want to get each one of these. We don't want to actually print it. I'm going to leave this as is. And then let's install a collection library. I don't think we have that yet. I'm going to use Titan Collect. What this is a it comes from Laravel's Illuminate support package. Laravel has a really nice collections library, but it's built into Illuminate support. And if we look at that, Illuminate, it comes with a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of things in here, all the facades and everything like that. If we look at Composer JSON, it actually brings in some other packages as well. So it's going to require Doctrine Inflector, Illuminate contracts, and Nesbot Carbon, and we don't need those. So what we're going to do is just bring in the collect part of that. So Composer rec. Pretty sure we haven't brought this in yet. I think we brought it into the other project. Titan. See here, what's it actually called? Titan Co-Collect. There we go. All right, so what we're going to do is use this just to help with some sorting and filtering. I'm going to say events equals, we're going to collect all of the events that we have. And that alone would give us, you know, the objects themselves as a collection. But what we can do now is filter. And we'll do the event. So this is more or less what we had before, in a sense. Actually, no, we don't want to filter. We want to map. And what we're going to do is map event. We're just going to return a simple associative array. We're going to have the summary And then we're going to get this information as well. But we're going to get it before. We're going to save this as start, or we'll just do start, date time. And that might be all we need for now, because we don't need the recur rule anymore. So this alone will get us to the point where we have a nice structure for our events. So let's print our events. DT start of non-object. So let's see here. Why is this not working? Let's cast this to an array. So it is getting an object. Just getting the string v event. Collect. Reader, calendar, expand. Let's see here. We need to figure out how to get vObject to give children for each. Array iterator. Get iterator. All right, let's see if that works. Well, that's talking about traversable. I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll try. That didn't work like I wanted. All right, so I'm going to see if we can do something really silly. And this is just not what I think anyone should have to do, but I don't really have a choice here. Actually, no. I'm going to keep going this way. Call this events. See if it works. The event summary, start date time. All right, so why is that using a lot of memory? Is it because we're creating a lot of time zones? Zone. Let's see if this works. I wouldn't imagine that this should matter, but at this point I'll try anything. And then we'll do one for UTC. Still running out of memory. That's bizarre. Line 65. event summary. Wow. So that object must have had a reference to itself before, if you don't stringify it. All right. Let's see, what was the other bit we had in here? Let's print cal. Let's see if there should be a description of some sort too. So summary, description. Yeah, let's keep the description if it's there. Looks like I don't have it, but I think eventually I might start setting those up front. Summary, description. Okay, cool. So let's see if I can use array map. So let's see, I want to try and figure out how I can get this done. It's possible the iterator to array thing would have worked. Events equals let's see, collect. Looks like it's getting late. That wasn't even kind of right. All right. It's possible that the reason we were getting that problem before trying to use iterator to array was actually dealing with how we were keeping track of those V objects before. So I'm going to do this now. We're going to return this. Collect map. Okay, undefined variable UTC, which is fine. Let's see, where's those? Those are defined up here. We'll just need to use them. $time zone and $UTC. We needed both of those. Cool. Okay, so we got that working. I guess we just needed to cast these as strings. So we've mapped them now. If we events, let's see, all. See what we get. Cool. All right, so here again, this is it broken down to starting at 10, 10, and then 4, 4, 4. So what we want to do is actually sort these. So we're going to sort by, just take a look at the collections again, the interface, and see. So sort collection by given key. So what I want to do is sort by and the top level key that we have here is start. Let's see if that's enough. Looks like it might be. So let's do this out to less. So the first one we have is today at 10, and then tomorrow at 4, and then Thursday at 4, and then Thursday at 10. So I think this did what we wanted. Let's see. I don't want to preserve those keys. So we'll use the values method to reset the keys. All right, so sort by price, and then we'll do values. And then we'll get array keys that make sense, essentially. Sometimes it's nice if it's able to keep the original keys, and sometimes it's not. So in this case, I think it'll just be nice to have them back like this. All right, so we know it's time zone America, Chicago, and we have the correct values. So this took a little longer than I thought it would to get this part done. Let's look at Composer JSON again. I'm actually going to remove this recur package because we don't really need it. We're not using it. The vObject package was able to do everything for us. So Composer, remove. Okay, cool. All right, so we're not doing anything with this yet, which I'm fine with. But we do actually get the data as we were supposed to. So that was a good step forward. And I think it's nice. I'm happy with that. So we won't jump back to this package again until a couple of days from now. But if you have any other questions or want to see anything done differently within this code base or have questions about it, let me know. You can hit me up on Twitter at Beau Simensen or at Astrocasts, and looking forward to seeing you all tomorrow, getting back to working on that podcast website. Thank you.